We know that you accept the vibrational basis of the universe. But the piece that most don't understand is the power that your inner being has. The importance that your inner being has in the way you feel. Your inner being is not calling you to anything that life hasn't caused you to ask for. So it's not like you're a puppet on a string. If we were translating for your inner being precisely, your inner being would be saying, all through your life, you've been sorting and sifting, and you've been making requests, and we know every single one of them. And they're all lined up here, and many of them have dovetailed together. And they have gathered such a current, a force of nature, a vibrational frequency, that you're not ready for it yet. It's too big. It started before you were even born. You've added to it every day since, and you've got to find some way of acclimating to this, because you're just going to bounce off of it right now. You try to approach it, you're not ready any more than you could set your radio dial on 98.7 and listen to what's being broadcast on 101. The frequencies have to match up. So meditation will help you to sync your frequencies. And once your frequencies are synced, not very important things will bring you satisfaction. But if you're focused upon the satisfaction feeling, if satisfaction's what you're going for, not an instant remedy, but satisfaction, and then you do it tomorrow, and then the next day, it won't be more than a few days. What we want you to understand is life is supposed to feel good to you. And so eat a little of it. That's what contrast is. And launch your rockets of desire. And then get general enough in your thoughts. That's what meditation will do. It will quiet your mind back to the basics enough that then new thoughts about all of those new pathways can be made. It's like this. You don't mean to do it, but all of you do it. Esther 2 is that you know what you don't want and you know what you do want. So you make an effort to get back to what you do want with many of the processes. Esther uses every process that we've ever offered. Focus wheels. She writes thousands of focus wheels. She tries to get on rampages of appreciation. In other words, she tries to find positive thought. So you participate in a thought that doesn't feel good, and then you improve it, and then you participate in a thought that doesn't feel good, and you improve it, and you participate in a thought that doesn't feel good, and you improve it, and you participate in a thought that doesn't feel good, and you improve it, and then you participate in a thought that doesn't feel good, and you improve it, and pretty soon you just make a little rut, a little groove. Even though your inner being's way over there, you can't quite make it out of that rut. It's like you've got a leash that you only let yourself out a little ways on it before you jerk yourself back. The other day, we had a really good conversation with a nice man who was having a hard time on a lot of things. In fact, he reminded us of the way you were feeling. And so we said, just call out some negative emotions, and we're going to tell you the word that we would use to describe that negative emotion. So he said discouraged, and we said disconnected. And he said angry, and we said disconnected. And every word that he offered, we said disconnected, because it's all the same thing. Doesn't matter what word you use, it's disconnected from who you are. It's not receiving, it's not replenishing. It's too much poison. So then, later in the conversation, we were talking about what the remedy is. What is the remedy when you're discouraged? Meditation. What's the remedy for when you're angry? Meditation. When somebody encouraged Jerry and Esther in 1984 to meditate, they left that place saying to each other, meditation is so weird. Jerry said, we're business people. I like practical things. One day, someone told Jerry that she could see his aura, and he just avoided her for the rest of the time. Because that stuff doesn't seem practical. It's so nice. But you have to accept a few things. You have to accept that you're vibrational. You do. You have to accept that the whole universe is. You have to accept that law of attraction abounds. You have to accept that your inner being is standing where everything you want is and is calling you toward it. You have to accept that things are working out for you. We're asking you to give up some prejudices that you've been using against yourself for a very long time. And we know. Some people just think, that's just crazy talk. Don't look at what's around me and get off in some la-la land. Yeah, that's a good place off there, and focus. We understand how crazy it might seem to a very practical-minded person, but you ask us a question and we gave you an answer. You've got to hook back up to your power. And here's the thing. The power never went away. It never went away. It's always ready for you to be ready. You've just got to get yourself in the vicinity of it. First time Esther sat to meditate. She'd never meditated before. She counted her breathing. And she felt detachment right away. And she liked it so much, she wanted to keep doing it. Well, they set a timer for 15 minutes, and right away she felt that. And she said, let's do it again. So they set the timer for 15 more minutes. And Jerry's thinking, oh, here we go. Because Esther does tend to be all or nothing, as you may have noticed.